Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to r/TalesFrom. Well, really, Tales from wherever. What I've done, and I've done this once or twice before, is combined a whole bunch of smaller subreddits, r/Tales from Retail, Tales from Tech Support, Tales from Your Server, and a whole bunch of others. Because waiting for enough good stories from just one of those subs just takes way too long, so I've mashed them all together and hopefully you enjoy. But with that said, this first post by user/dbmax is from r/Tales from Call Centers, so let's get straight into it. Hey guys, I've lurked here for a while now, and figured I'd share a story from my call center days that you guys might appreciate. The full interaction of the call was around 45 minutes, with a lot of talking in circles as Karens tend to do. So I'm going to try my best to condense it down to the interesting parts. So this happened when I was supporting the floor for a team taking calls for a large American cell phone company. The last agent on my team is taking their last call, and I'm just getting things ready to head out for the night. Around midnight-ish, we're the last team to finish for the night. When the agent comes to my cubicle with a look of absolute dread. Immediate escalation. I toss on my headset and tell my agent to send her over as soon as possible. She call transfers her to me, which I totally get, and I get my first blast from this Karen right out of the gate. K is the Karen and M is me. Oh, and I'm looking forward to it. I get a lot of Karen screaming, get to practice my entitled mother voice. This is gonna be fun. You better be the frickin' manager. Hey there Karen, I'm dbmax, and I'm currently supervising the floor. I understand you're looking to talk with me. How can I help you out? I ask, but I have her account in front of me at this point, and see a bill coming due for a little more than $16,000. I suspect this is going to be our issue. There is absolutely no effing way I'm paying this bill. This is unacceptable. Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. I definitely wouldn't be prepared for a bill like that. Let me take a look and see what's going on here and get this sorted out. It's at this point when I open the bill in question and see a roughly $16,000 charge for roaming data. Uh-oh. Karen here went on vacation to a very beautiful, yet very remote island. The going rate for data is an eye-watering $15 per megabyte. Karen used over a gigabyte of data while on this vacation. Now I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, are there no protections that stop things like this from happening? And you'd be absolutely right. We sent over 40 text messages warning about data use and notifying what the current charges for data were at the time, as well as turned off her data at the $500 mark, which she manually turned back on. While I'm looking through the account, figuring out what exactly happened here, Karen screams obscenities about how evil we are, and how I'm personally gonna be jailed for this offense, until I finally chime in and get the ball rolling. Okay Karen, so just taking a look here, I can see the discrepancy in the bill is caused by a charge from data use while traveling. Let me see if... I did not use that much data. That's freaking ridiculous. How can you even say that? How stupid are you? Well, taking a look here, I see over a gigabyte of data usage on the week of the vacation, which, as you were advised, is billed at $15 a megabyte. Nobody notified me of anything. There was no way I could have known it would cost that much. I understand no employee advised you before the trip, but that's only because you never called us, and we had no idea your vacation was coming so soon. I was too busy to call you guys. I don't work for you guys. I don't know these things. I get that, but we also notified you over 40 times about these data charges. All of them, including your current charge, as well as the data rate for the area you're in. I understand this is a large bill, but we gave you every opportunity to call us and rectify the situation. And you chose not to. At this point, I can offer you a maximum of $750 as credit towards the charge. Are you freaking kidding me? $750? That's freaking nothing! I go on Facebook and watch a few videos and get this bill? You're such an idiot. I'm not paying a cent for this. Let me put you on hold for a second. I'll see if there's anything else I can do. This is where things get interesting. I look through incredibly old policies on international travel when I find one that actually lets me re-rate the charges from this particular country. For God knows what reason, all the way down to $2 a megabyte. Still a lot of money for a cell phone bill, but it sure is better than what she'd pay right now. All in all, the credit I could apply, using this policy to justify it, was about $14,000. I'm ecstatic coming to the phone. This should be a slam dunk. Hey there, Karen. I hope you're still with me. I've got some good news. So, looking through some older policies, I found one that allows me to apply $14,000 to your account. Thank you so much for being patient with me. I'm glad we could find a better solution here. The Karen laugh snorts. I don't think you heard me. Excuse me? I'm not paying any of this bill. Well there, let's not forget, even without the charge we're talking about, you still have your regular services to pay for. I feel like this has been horrible enough customer service. You should waive the charges for that. It's the least you could do at this point. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, that's not how this works. And the absolute most I can apply is the $14,000 I've already offered. And that alone is orders of magnitude larger than any other single credit I've personally applied. You're heartless. I need to speak to your boss right frickin' now. If I could, I would. But at this point, it's almost 1 AM where we're located, and I'm quite literally the last person in this office. There's nobody above me you can talk to. If you'd like, I can send her an email letting her know you would like to talk. She'll be in this morning. Do it now! I'm not paying for this! The email's sent. I've gotta warn you though, she might not come up with the same solution I have. Fine, I'm still not paying. And Karen hangs up. So this ends my interaction with her. But when the department manager gets my email in the morning, thoroughly laying out the conversation for prior out as well as my findings, my manager scrolls through the account quickly, laughs, then immediately puts on her headset and dials out to the customer. She very briefly and very sternly advised the customer that this was not the first time a mistake like this had happened on the account, and that due to these past interactions, the most she would offer was a $25 courtesy credit. Then advised that any further inquiries about this issue would be forwarded to the fraud department for them to review. What a legend! A part of me feels bad about it, but the overwhelming majority of me says, F that, she did so many things to deserve that. And yes, the revenge is sweet with that one. I've definitely heard horror stories about this before, someone just browsing Facebook or going on YouTube on a holiday and racking up a charge of thousands of dollars. But looks like this woman is not unaware of the consequences. It seems like she's done it before and just had a strategy down-packed for dealing with it later. For any of you traveling, just get things called international SIMs. They're a bit more expensive than a regular SIM, but they work just fine and save you a whole bunch of trouble. And here's our next post, this time from r/TalesFrom Tech Support, posted by user/PSJ the Kid. I used to work for a major hospital trust, which encompassed 4 hospitals on the main campus, where I was based, and 2 other satellite sites. A call comes in from a nurse on the palliative care ward, asking if we can enable FaceTime on one of the iPads. These iPads were locked down as they were used for patient observations and charts, so we couldn't accommodate this. I then find out that it's for this elderly gent who's on his deathbed and wanted to talk to his daughter who'd emigrated to Australia one last time. The earliest his daughter could fly to the hospital was the following Saturday, but his nurse wasn't sure he'd live that long, so she had the idea for FaceTime. Seeing as we couldn't unlock the iPad, we got one of the COW's, computers on wheels, which was a laptop on a wheel cart, and installed Skype on it for the gent to see his daughter. Last I heard from this, he died a happy man. Not long after, he made one last call with his daughter. I mean, kind of bittersweet, and definitely not in the regular sort of Tales from Tech Support style, but I like this story, it was nice. And it must have been good knowing that you were able to fulfill someone's last wish. And now we'll be moving to r/Tales from your server with this post by user/BrandyMarie6. This happened years ago, but it still feels like it was yesterday. I, 29 female, was serving at a Steak and Shake and was about 70 pounds bigger than I am now. I'm very white blonde hair, so you wouldn't know by looking at me that I'm almost fluent in Spanish. As I was cleaning a table one night, the one right next to me was seated for me. While wiping the dirty table, I heard the new table talking loudly about me in Spanish. They were saying how big my butt was, how fat I was, how they didn't want to be served by someone so disgusting, not knowing that I 100% understood them. My initial reaction was anger and tears. I wanted to give them bad service and not even try to be nice. But I wanted to be the bigger person. I walked to the table and did my "Welcome to Steak and Shake, my name's Brandy and I'm here to help you out." But I said it all in Spanish. The look of shock and embarrassment on their faces gave me one of the greatest feelings ever. Then I listed every burger, every milkshake flavour, and every side item in Spanish. For the entire meal, I spoke no English at all, and I gave them the kindest, most attentive service I've ever given anyone. The nicer I was, the more humiliated and ashamed they were. When one of them asked quietly if they could have some more water, I already had a tray in my hand with his water on it. They refused to speak Spanish to me and would hardly even look at me. When they left, they closed their $25 check and left me a $50 bill under a plate for my tip. Such a glorious day. Everyone always asks why I didn't spit in their food and give them bad service, or ring in their order wrong. Kill people with kindness, baby. That's the way I do it. And nice OP, I like it, as hard as it would have been to resist in the moment. It's funny how much more rude people can be when they think you can't hear them or can't understand them. And it just goes to show that maybe being angry in response isn't the best response. But being really kind and attentive can make them feel even worse about themselves. Nice work, OP. And here's our next post by user/Micah. I got called in tonight, had already worked from 8 AM to 3 PM, because, as the title says, we'll be closed tomorrow for a minimum of 15 days. And the whole front of house staff for the night called off, and all but 2 cooks and 1 dishwasher called off as well. I show up and our patio and bar is full. There's a manager bartending and 2 managers hosting and serving. Food is taking a while because the kitchen is also understaffed. For the most part, everyone was understanding and nice, and simply glad that we were open. Except that is for 1 table. We'll call them Carl and Karen. I clock in at 6 after rushing back to work, and I'm running around trying to make sense of things. One other server also got called in, a new hire who technically isn't even supposed to be taking tables. I'm literally running between tables and the kitchen, trying to make everyone as a steady stream of people keep flowing in. Now, my manager had started Karen and Carl's table and had already taken their order. When I showed up, he went back to Expo and I took over almost the whole patio. All the tables he started, so I have no idea who's at what point of their service, and I have to figure it out for myself and fast. During all this madness, Karen waves me over, exclaiming how she's been waiting forever for more water. Her glass is a third full, and her husband has a full glass. So I apologise and fill her water. I bring them their food. 1 shrimp pasta with extra shrimp on the side. Karen was only having the side of shrimp as her meal. I make sure everything's okay, apologise for the wait, and fill Karen's water. A few minutes go by, and I check on them and top off for Karen's water. Carl still hasn't touched his water. A few minutes go by, and I'm being frantically waved down again because Karen needs more water. Her glass is half full this time. I ask for the 3rd time if everything's okay, as I notice she hasn't touched her side of shrimp. Karen tells me she asked the boy for some sauce for the shrimp and has been waiting for it forever. Mind you, I was just at the table 5 minutes ago. I asked her what kind of sauce she needed, and she replied, "I don't know, the boy just said he'd bring me some sauce." Just an FYI, the boy is my 30-year-old Filipino manager. As I'm walking back inside, my manager passes me with the Karen's precious sauce. She's been waiting for all of 5 minutes. I keep trying to check on them and keep Karen's water full. Carl still hasn't touched his water except to move it off the coaster, and now all the ice has melted and there's a pool of water forming around it on the table. Suddenly, while running around making laps between the kitchen and the patio, I see Karen and Carl at the host stand, and I go up to them to see if everything's okay, only to be told that they've been waiting for their check forever. I'm completely baffled because I just topped off Karen's water on my last lap around, and she still had 2 shrimp and he still had his pasta. I once again apologise and grab Carl's credit card. Mind you, Carl hasn't spoken a word this entire time. I bring them their receipt and continue to make my laps. Upon passing the host stand again, I see the checkbook there. I open it up and Carl had blacked out the tip line with the pen, and in some of the worst handwriting I've ever seen, wrote, "Worst service ever." Sure, the service wasn't the best, but it's the last night restaurants can open in my city and we were busy and short-staffed. Before tonight, I had never actually considered following a table and confronting them. I did take solace that they won't be able to treat another server like this for at least 15 days. Wow, what a weird couple. First of all, is Karen a bloody water fountain that she needs her water refilled every 15 seconds? Come on, Karen, you're not gonna die of thirst. And her husband, he was even weirder. He didn't say anything. Maybe he was having just an existential crisis? Maybe he'd just gone on Reddit, realized he's married to a Karen, and that his wife is gonna be all over Reddit in a minute. I don't know, I can't explain this. Such a weird couple. And yeah, I'm sorry you had to deal with them, OP. And I think this post will be the last one for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for Reddit videos 3 times every single week. But with that said, that is it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.